been sharp so far tonight. Still on his stool, across the ring, Willis looking at him. You got the same look that James Toney as Karl Willis did coming out of the corner. Look at how Toney cuts the ring on Willis. Willis trying to, can't really move in a circular fashion there. Toney an expert in the skills of boxing. Landed the right hand. Toney punching in combinations tonight.
And Willis doing nothing to keep him off. He's not keeping that jab out of there. He wants to survive strictly on moving with the legs. He's got to keep the jab out.
Willis can move some, moving some tonight. He's strong. He's got good stamina. He had a lot of first and second round KOs early in his career, but that was against very low-level opposition. Toney just really looks purposeful tonight.
Well, as we said in the open, you're coming off 2 losses, which is something that we never thought we'd be talking about at this point in time. You have a must-win situation here. He's already got his next fight scheduled. He'll be fighting for the USBA title.
And that is against one of Arnie Rosenthal, my partner's fighters, Anthony Hamburg. Is there a date on that?
April 30th on the CBS network. That's why, should James Toney win this fight, Rich, I'm going to give the pleasure of the post-fight interview to you so that Toney and I don't wind up...
Is that for safety reasons?
Possibly.
Halfway through round 3.
I don't want him to insult me and really get Hembrick mad at him.
James Toney, I can't recall any fighter who was a champion, and certainly at the level that he held the championship and for the amount of time that he did, who was more active, this guy. I mean, just fighting even non-title fights as well as title fights. He would fight as a matter of course, and every year in the 90s, 5, 6, 7 fights a year.
In 1990, he fought 10 times. I mean, it gives you an idea. He's fought, that's what I was saying earlier, since 1988. He turned pro late in 88. So essentially, since 1989, he's had 48 fights. A lot of leg wear, a lot of body wear, and he's a fighter that likes to balloon up. Even if he's off for just 4 to 6 weeks, he's going to put on 20 pounds. So you take that weight off, you take it on, it's got wear and tear on you. And I think some of that wear and tear is what we saw in the Roy Jones and even in the Montell Griffin fight, but we're not seeing it tonight. Looking very good thus far.
A right to the body that time, and then a left up to the head by James Toney. Good stiff jab there by Toney. 10 seconds to go in the round. Round number 4 coming up on Prime.
Third round action, and you see what's happening here is Karl Willis is trying to throw a jab from the inside, and he's off balance, and James Toney pretty much having his way with him at this point.
Toney moving forward, was told by his trainer Bill Miller not to forget the body. Arnie, we can't see the upper reaches here of this beautiful building, the Palace of Auburn Hills. We estimated that the crowd was around 12,000 earlier tonight. It's dark up there, so we really can't see. We've just been handed the attendance figures here tonight. 18,165 fans have packed the Palace here to watch James Toney and Bronco McCart.
I'm not sure. That's probably a boxing record, though, for the Palace. You know, you only can wonder at this point, and we probably will never know the real answer, if James Toney was more diligent in his training and didn't have a tendency to put on big weight between fights, and he stayed at either 160 or 168, what a devastating fighter he could have been down there.
Good counter right hand by Toney. One of his skills is counter punching. There, another right hand by James over the top. Toney, of course, had trouble taking off the considerable weight he had in that last fight before the Jones. He was training for a long time. He was just having trouble taking it off.
Willis is cut.
Big cut, a lot of blood.
Can't tell if it's coming from his nose or his cheek is cut. And he's fighting a totally wrong fight, totally different than he said he would fight Toney also. He's not sticking and jabbing, he's not moving, and now he's trying to get into a brawl on the inside. Showing a lot of guts and heart, but not a great strategy.
I believe that blood was from the nose. It just got smeared, Arnie. It's no longer on the face.
stiff jab from Willis, but then he comes walking back in. Oh, he's...
Dale Grable warns Toney, says, I said stop punching. Toney punching on the break there, and he did get a good left hook, and it splattered the blood again.
And Willis turning into a punching bag at this point, Rich. He's offering no offense whatsoever.
When you take a look at that face of Willis, it's only round 4, and he looks more than just jaded at this point.
And Toney just looked down at us as if to say, come on, how do you like my performance? Shot us a glare. And I just got a nice hunk of Karl Willis with blood all over me.
Into the end of the round.
Do you want to make...
All right, back at the Palace of Auburn Hills as we begin round 5. To make matters worse for Karl Willis, they fought after the bell. A few seconds after the bell, and referee Dale Grable deducted a point from Willis as well for what he called unsportsmanlike conduct. So it was either 15 yards or a point.
And it was a point he couldn't afford to give away at this point. I don't know if he's going to be around, though, to see the decision, so I don't think it's going to be totally academic. He's bleeding from every place on his face that he could possibly bleed from now.
A lot of blood coming from the nose. They just cannot stem the bleeding from the nose of Karl Willis. Good right hand by Willis. Toney will often turn away from those rights. He puts his shoulder up there. It's a neat little defensive trick that James has developed through the course of his distinguished career.
And it's a very awkward one to combat against. And normally what happens, the big mistake a fighter makes is he's trying to look for a way to combat against that shoulder instead of saying, you know what, let me take 2 steps backwards instead of getting sucked in.
Good right hand by Toney, who is just methodically breaking down Karl Willis. Willis has shown guts here by continuing, but I think his corner, if it continues at this pace, may have to think about stopping this fight.
Well, I guess they're coming from, at least at this point, Willis is a bit of a puncher. He's had 16 knockouts in his 21 wins. They're going to feel he's got a puncher's chance on the inside.
He tried to throw a right there, and Toney backed him up with his own right.
Toney hitting him from all angles now, landed a nice uppercut in there as well. And Willis offering no offense as he backpedals, and Toney just stalking him. Willis having trouble breathing right now, too, because of the nose bleeding. He's got his mouth open because when he tries to breathe through his nose, all he's going to do is swallow blood. He's going to wind up getting his jaw broken this way if they can't stem the flow of blood from his nose. You can see the blood come flying out of his mouth as well.
It's a nice left hook by Toney, but it just grazed the face of Willis, thrown with a lot of power and snap. There Willis tries the jab and then follows it up with the left hand. The jab missed the right and then the left hand by Willis, perhaps his best combination of the night.
Notice, though, he didn't go running in, though, to try to double it up or triple it up. He allowed Toney to shake it off. He was happy to land the one punch, stay on the outside.
And Toney just kind of paused for a second, said, all right, back to it. Toney marches forward with 10 seconds to go in round 5. That's another one in the bank for James Toney. When we go back to the corner with Toney, who looks right up at Bill Miller, smiles at Bill, a rare smile from the face of James during the fight.
Well, when you're a fighter like Toney, who was coming off being undefeated in 46 fights, excuse me, yeah, and then you lose 2 straight, you start to wonder yourself. You ask to question your own self-confidence. And you have to at least feel right now like, well, I'm back. Or I'm back somewhat. This isn't Roy Jones, it's Karl Willis, but I'm on the right path. On the other hand, Willis is offering no offense whatsoever.